Hello, everyone. Today, I am very glad to greet everyone at this presentation, at which we want to share some information about the coming seminars in Dubrovnik in March. Maybe you have already noticed from the ad which was distributed, there are a lot of new teachers and a lot of new topics. Though I mentioned teachers, these teachers who will be conducting seminars are not very experienced teachers and very experienced practitioners of the methods of Grigori Grabovoi. You all know that Grigori Grabovoi produced more than 500 books and lectures, and for one person it is difficult to learn everyone, say within 10 or 20 years. And our teachers who will be in Dubrovnik will familiarize you, will teach you those works which are not yet in the European market. The teachers will share their results and will teach you the methods of Grigori Grabovoi which are presented in those books. Today, I am glad to introduce one of the teachers who will participate in this session of Dubrovnik, Elena Dagunts, and myself. My name is Olga Taloshna. I am also a teacher, one of the organizers of the sessions in Dubrovnik. So I'm very glad to introduce Elena Dagunts. Elena, please tell several words about you.
Thank you, Olga. I'm glad to greet everyone who is listening to us right now. So my name is Elena Dagunts, and I have been studying and practicing the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi since 2003. As for the results, there are a lot of them, and over time, we cease to notice how well we're all going on events. But as for the most memorable results, I believe that my most important result is the fact that I managed to survive during the terrorist attack in the Moscow metro in March 2010, and thanks to the control I did to reduce the power of the explosion and the number of victims. These are objective data according to the publications in the media about the number of victims and the power of the explosion. The fact is that there were two explosions with a difference of about an hour at different metro stations. And compared to the metro station where I was, the victims were 2 times less. Well, the situation was calm. There was no panic there. Olga?
Thank you very much, Elena. Please tell, what topics are you going to present to our in Dubrovnik?
The course of lectures I'm going to present consists of the presentation of 2 books of Grigori Grabovoi and 4 of these lectures. It will be quite an intensive course, which will begin on March 4 with the presentation of the book Methods of Concentration. You see it on the screen right now. Then the same day I will present the first lecture of the course of lectures, which Grigori Grabovoi called the course of lectures of the initial level. Despite the fact that this is an initial training course, it immediately gives control. That is, a lot of control technologies are given in this course at once, and we will learn to use them together. So the title of the first lecture of this course is in front of you right now. This is Adaptability of Definite Control Positions at the Expense of Structure Formation of Own Consciousness. There will be the theoretical part in this lecture and practical part. This is one of the methods of control we will analyze with you and practice. The next lecture, which will be given the same day, is System of Salvation and Harmonious Development, Methods of Control through Concentration on Numbers or Creating Number Series. This is one of the methods of control we will practice with you. And in general, there will be 4 methods of control in this lecture. Now, I will show you the next lecture. So we will start the next day, the 5th of March, with the presentation of the next lecture from this course of lectures of the initial level, System of Salvation and Harmonious Development, Control via the phrases, 8 methods of control. And one of the methods you can see right now on the screen from this lecture. And the same day, the 5th of March, the 4th lecture of this course will be given. It will be System of Salvation and Harmonious Development, Technology and Methods of Control by Means of Color. Okay, and this is one of the methods of control from this lecture. And in general, this lecture will focus on 3 technologies. And at last, the 6th of March, it will be the presentation of the book by Grigori Grabovoi, Numbers of Stars for Eternal Life. It's not translated into English yet, so that's why you see the cover of this book in Russian. So you will listen to the presentation of this book. We will analyze the introduction to this book, and I will give some technologies according to constellations. Olga?
Thank you, Elena. And please tell, why have you chosen exactly these topics? I think that it will be especially interesting for the students of our seminar.
Okay, from my point of view, the book Methods of Concentration, which I chose as the start of this course, this book is very good entry into the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi. It is easily perceived, and at the same time it contains the basics of concentration and as if introductory information in many books by Grigori Grabovoi. From this book you will learn how to concentrate using number series. We'll start working with verbal control texts as well as with plants, stones or crystals, animals, stars, planets, that is, with remote objects of reality. Begin to learn how to make control using parts of your own body. We will analyze in details the introduction to this book, which contains important information about how to work with it, with this book for every day of the month. As for the lectures that Grigori Grabovoi called the course of lectures for the initial level, there are simple technologies there, and I think they will be interesting for everybody because of their simplicity and effectiveness. And moreover, Grigori Grabovoi gave them for the teachers. And about the book, Numbers of Stars for Eternal Life, I can say that this is my favorite one, and I use the technologies from this book very often. Olga?
Thank you very much, Elena. And please, can you open to us one of the methods which you will be teaching the students in Dubrovnik?
Okay. Um, Lately, I've been working very often with the constellation Ursa Major, so I can tell a few words about these wonderful methods of control. So the work begins with the formulation of the aim. I often use this technology to normalize health, and based on the fact that a person is the whole external and internal world simultaneously, then healing your body, you normalize in external events as well. But of course, it's possible to work using this technology to normalize some event as well. After the aim is formulated, we continue the work uniting with the light of the star through the interaction area, which is presented in the form of number series. Right now you see this explanation on the slide on the example of the constellation of Sagittarius. So we find the constellation Ursa Major on the information level if we work in premises. Of course, everybody knows where these constellations is on the sky. But when we work in the room, in the premises, so we can find it on information level. So after we find the constellation Ursa Major, then from own physical body we send the light of the soul, of our soul, of own soul, to the constellation of Ursa Major and superimpose on the track of the light the number series 217319648818 to communicate with the constellation. The concentration on the first figure of this series corresponding to the star allows you to be filled with the energy of eternity. Through the number by which this series ends, the union with the light of the star is made. A finite figure which ends a series acquires the properties of infinity, and back we perceive the combined light of the stars and of own soul. After that, we read at least 3 number series relating to the constellation Ursa Major. At the same time, each number series is superimposed on the already built light path, the connection with the constellation through the main number series. Other series of this constellation as if supplement and reinforce this connection and the power of the energy of the stars. And now let's go directly to the control, considering the picture. As soon as we connect the image of the left hind paw of the great bear with the right hind paw by means of a section of light, and also by the light segment, we connect the image of her left ear with the right ear, and looking into the eyes of the bear on the picture, we pronounce mentally the series 8888999. The warm energy from the left side of the bear is felt immediately physically. It can be immediately directed to the right place on the physical body if you are working with some internal organ, for example, or on the sphere with the aim of control. To speed up the result, the author recommends at first to fill the sphere of macro salvation with this energy of eternal life, which comes from the left side of the great bear. That is, in the way of this flow of energy, we put the sphere of macro salvation and fill it with a bright silvery white light of the energy of eternal life. To this sphere of macro salvation, we set the sphere with the aim of control so that the borders of both spheres touch. And through this area of the border, we already get a powerful light on ourselves, on the own body and own events, or on the body and the events of the person with whom we work. This is in short, this is very short explanation. Of course, during the seminars, we will practice it all together, and I will explain it in more details and maybe not so fluently like right now. Olga?
Thank you very much, Elena. Great, thank you. And I'm sure it will be very interesting to teach at the seminar. And Elena, what do you think for whom and for knowledge received at the seminars will be useful? And how the students will be able to use them in the future?
Yes, that's a good question. I think mastering the new methods of control and using them in your everyday life, you develop your consciousness. With the developed consciousness, you will be able to easily control your life events, improve your health. Moreover, these control technologies are so simple that you will be able to use some of them on the way to work, for example, in transport. I'm saying this from my own experience. Olga?
Thank you very much, Elena. So you heard how Elena will be explaining the method and what interesting methods and works of Grigori Grabovoi you will study in the seminars. And I really, I'm really glad that presented for our European or worldwide students in these seminars. Welcome. These seminars will be very useful, and our teachers with great love for the teachings of Grigori Grabovoi and the whole world will present them for you. Welcome.
Thank you very much for your attention. Welcome. See you. Bye bye.